This week on Dialed In Angling, I couldn't be more excited. We are on Upper Red Lake. It's one of my favorite early ice destinations, and it is for thousands of ice anglers. They flock to this region for good reason, because the fishing is fantastic. In the past few years, the fishing has been getting better and better, not just for walleyes, crappies, perch, and of course, northern pike. I cannot wait to get after it. Winter is here. We've got some winter-like conditions. Let's go catch some fish. Yeah, a couple things I'm looking for here early ice is water clarity. When we drill, how clear is the water? It's pretty clear here. You know, I know last week just talking to a lot of anglers, they said there was a ton of dirty ice. That's pretty normal for Red Lake to have that kind of dirty ice, dirty water. This lake gets really windy at times, and before the ice forms, there's a ton of wave action. It kind of churns up the shores and dirties up that water. And it's okay to have a little bit of color, but you don't want just muddy looking water. If you drill in muddy water, just keep going and moving out maybe just a little bit deeper until it clears up. Joining me today is my good buddy, Nick Sakella, guide, professional angler. Can't wait to get after it.
So we'd like to start a little bit shallower, hopefully find some more active fish, and then work our way deeper if we're not seeing what we want in that shallower water, looking for bait and ultimately fish as well. So right here is what we're looking for, bait, and then the fish will be hopefully roaming right behind that bait. Yeah, right out there, 40 feet or so.
You know, because Red Lake is just a basin, we're just gonna drill a handful of holes. It's always good to look before you set up or before you decide to pull out all your gear. Nick's finding some bait, he's finding some fish. Really good signs right now. Always amazing me when you're in this shallow water, how fast they come ripping through on 2D sonar. Snow is starting to pick up here, bud. There he is, Nick. Oh. You know, it's crazy how those perch just clear out and then these walleyes come flying in. That's the second one I've had in just a few minutes, so
yeah,
this is a good spot. You know, when you're out on Red here, it's a big basin. It can be overwhelming because it's so structureless, and I love to get out here and just kind of drill a few test holes to see where those fish are at. You know, you always get a lot of reports where people are like, oh, the fish are in 5 feet, 6 feet. You really just got to go check for yourself. And you know, this wind and the snow is starting to ramp up a little bit. I think this would be a great spot to kind of get hunkered down, don't you think?
I wouldn't be opposed to popping that otter over at all.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, let's get set up.
Awesome, this is a good spot. You know, Red Lake is just one of those lakes that you can get set up, be in a shelter, be warm, and catch fish all day long. Hey, you're gonna want to stay tuned because we've got more Dialed In Angling coming your way.
Dialed In Angling, brought to you by Strike Master, Rapala, L&M Fleet Supply and DeWalt, and by Coors Light.
Welcome back to Dialed In Angling. We are on Upper Red Lake in pursuit of walleyes. You know, it's really starting to snow outside. There's some sleet, some weather moving in. Guess what? Winter is here, but we're prepared. We're in the Otter Monster Lodge. We're gonna get that heat hog fired up. We're gonna be nice and toasty and start whaling on some walleyes. There he is. Here we go, Nick. Not too bad. Just got the house set up and fish on. And that one wanted it. You don't even have to think about it. They just come in and smack that. Little walleye, aggressive. That's what's fun about out here. Again, Red Lake being it's a shallow water situation. Most of the areas you're fishing 11 feet and under, 10 feet and under most of the time. Right now we're in 6 foot of water, so they usually just come in and crack it. Got the 1-2 combo set up here. Fishing a spoon. And then of course I've got the dead sticks down. Middle of the day, Red Lake is such a dead stick lake. A lot of times you draw them in with a spoon or a rattle bait, and then boom, they'll hit that dead stick. That one came in and it was just laser focused on that roach spoon. The old pink. It's hard to beat pink out here.
It is a beautiful day to be sitting inside an otter hub, I know that.
Last year I teamed up with the crew at VMC to create the rattle and roach spoon. It's got a great spoon profile design, that glass rattle chamber, and then of course the dressed marabou treble on that thing. Absolutely dries fish wild, regardless if you use bait or not. Marabou just comes alive in the water column. Well, we've really doubled down on that dressed treble concept. Nick's been using the bladed bull spoon. Now that doesn't have the marabou treble, but it's got a blade on there. It's got a lot of flicker. It adds a lot of action. So like on a lake like this on Red Lake, where it's a little bit dingy, a little bit of stained water, that's gonna draw fish to your location. And then another spoon that we added into the lineup this year is the hatchet spoon. It's a flutter spoon with that marabou design. Again, that dressed treble design. A great shallow water flutter spoon type of profile, but then adding that dressed treble, that fish just cannot resist it. Oh, here we go. Kind of love the dead sticks going off of that. What do you think, buddy?
Do it.
Just check my drag quick.
There we
There
go.
he is. Not as big as I thought, the way he was running with that bait, I thought he was a giant, but gotta love the dead sticks though. One thing when you come up to Red Lake, you'll hear a lot of anglers talk about dead sticking, and the dead sticks, they're not all created equal. If you look at this rod in particular, this dead stick, we've got kind of a bait runner reel, and then of course that really soft tip with good backbone. And we're using shiners today, on Red Lake. I love tipping them with shiners or even big rainbows if you can find rainbow minnows. We got a few of those in there.
When we're out here using these dead sticks like Tony was just talking about, it's just as simple as it gets. Hook, line, and sinker and a minnow, and you're getting those bonus fish while you're jigging.
So much fun catching them on the dead stick. Hey, you're gonna wanna stay tuned because we got more dialed in angling coming your way. Better fish, Nick?
Better fish here. There we go.
Dude.
You got him, buddy.
Look at that sucker. Just a quick tip for you as far as setting up your hub before you decide to start drilling holes inside or even shoveling it out. What I like to do is make sure the door is zipped shut. That way when you put your ice anchors in, it's not going to be wonky on the outside. And then of course I come around and I pull this skirt out as far as I can. That way we can shovel or kick snow on the outside, minimizing any sort of wind that might be blowing in here. And then on the inside of the shelter, actually taking your shovel and clearing space, and you can kind of see the light if it's penetrating through and where you need to freshen up your hub. And then also, I almost always will attach, these wind straps and all of the corners around your hub. That way that thing's not gonna be blowing, or if the wind shifts, you get into a situation where, the wind comes up suddenly, you don't have to worry about your hub blowing away. But hubs are the way to go as far as setting up for a bigger group or a family. But if you do it right, you can maximize the space inside your shelter, and you can minimize any wind or any cold air that might be blowing in.
Dialed In Angling, brought to you by Strike Master, Sportsman's Guide, Devil's Lake, North Dakota Tourism, and by Skidoo.
Hey everybody, Bill Shirkin with this week's Ice Report. We are so far ahead of where we were 1 year ago. We're going to start this week up in central Minnesota where Josh Bullivant is on the ice. You've got a day off school.
We did. We had a little bit of snow day, so we're out on the ice right now, finding a good amount of ice actually. We made some ice this last week, so about 7 inches. What we're sitting on seem to be pretty consistent right now.
Now headed to North Dakota, Landon Blanchfield has a report from Devil's Lake at Woodland Resort. Landon, welcome to the team.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. We've had a great start for the ice fishing season. You know, most of the time we still have some ducks hanging around. Walleye are biting good. There's only a couple people on the ice yet, so I've heard really good reports about nice sized walleye. They've been really aggressive, hitting big spoons. You know, pink and green. Those have kind of been the best colors so far, and those are kind of our best colors throughout the year.
Pink and green is good advice. Brian Beef Sather is up on the Canadian border. Beef, walleyes on Lake of the Woods. How are they biting?
Oh my goodness, the rattle and roach spoon has been the ticket so far this winter. We're finding walleyes in that 17 to 24 feet of water right now. It's been pretty darn good. But we do have one thing that's happening that you can see behind me. It's snowing up here on the border. It's causing some trouble. We have ice conditions are running anywhere on the big lake, out on the big pond on Lake of the Woods, anywhere from 3 inches to 10 inches. So it's varying still, but we got some cold weather coming in. We're super excited about that. Houses will be going out soon. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Thanks, Beef. Meanwhile, Big Stone over on the South Dakota border, they are reporting about 6 inches of ice and improving conditions. Remember, the fishing there heats up really after Christmas. Over in Wisconsin, the northern lakes are iced up, and we're even getting reports out of Iowa, where a few fish have been biting around the Clear Lake area. Remember, be cautious out there. Keep along your flotation and have your ice picks.
There he is, Nick. That one came in flying again. Look at that. Another eater-sized walleye. Came in once, looked at the dead stick, turned around and hit the spoon. I like it. I would way rather catch them jigging. I know the dead sticks are super productive, but man, it just never gets old, those fish hitting that jig in 4 to 6 feet of water, 7 feet of water. There he goes. Just like that. Get back down there.
Oh. There we go.
Better fish, Nick?
Better fish here.
We'll give you a hand, bud.
Yeah, why don't you grab that out of there? That one came out of nowhere and absolutely smoked it.
That looks like a really good fish, bud.
Yes, it is. Feels really nice.
Oh,
Ooh.
he's got the dead stick now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, what we got here? Ooh.
Unbelievable.
What do we got on here, Tone?
Might be a big pike. I haven't seen it yet.
There's definitely
Nick.
some weight down there. Oh, there's our dead
line.
stick. We got swivel there.
Oh, it's a big gator.
Is it?
Yeah. Giant gator. Oh, that dead stick is completely wrapped in that line.
Oh, we're coming now, Tone. Here it comes. We're gonna actually have to grab the line now.
Unbelievable. Oh,
We
he
got a
doesn't want to go.
A little bit of a cluther.
That is a big gator.
That is.
We got to get this thing to the surface.
Oh.
Come on up, baby. Come on.
His head's right there.
I know, he's so sideways.
Oh, close.
Oh, I can't get him, Nick.
He's about to.
Oh, he almost came up. They
There he
have
goes.
such a
There you go.
reverse.
There you go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Dude.
You got him, buddy.
These gators have such reverse. More than any other fish.
Look
They
at
will
that.
reverse on you. That thing. Look at that sucker.
Right on the side of the mouth there. He wasn't coming in.
Dude.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome added little bonus fish there, huh?
Look at how fat they are. But see how I was talking how wide they are. I mean, they just get that. Not only do they get the girth and the length, but they just get wide. What a
Look
beauty.
at that.
Look at that's 20-pounder.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, awesome. Let's send her back for someone else to catch, huh? Look at that thing. Fills up that 8-inch hole just about, huh?
Yeah. I almost screwed that up so bad for you too. And I was trying to grab that great big pike, but they're so powerful in the hole. And when you're only dealing with 8-9 inches of ice, I mean, they just reverse themselves.
Yeah, and we really had to play them soft with that 6-pound mono, but it held up.
That's a testament to the advanced mono from Suffix. That, I always tell people, that line itself is so strong. It has very little stretch. And I tell you what, when you get a big fish on, it's very abrasion resistant because it doesn't nick the bottom of the ice. You don't have to worry about
Exactly.
fish. Hey, right there, you just proved it.
Yep.
Let's get back down there. Man, we got to clean up these lines. We got a mess going here.
Dialed In Angling, brought to you by Onyx Fish, Markham Technologies, iFish Pro Tip Up, Heat Hog, and by Otter Outdoors.
Welcome back to Dialed In Angling. Today we are on Upper Red Lake chasing walleyes. We started out the day by drilling holes and finding fish. We found the locations where the bait's at, where the fish are at, and we're set up in the shelter. You know, weather started moving in. This is the perfect time to get the shelter up and get into position to start catching these fish as they're moving through. When you're fishing a basin situation like we are on Red Lake, it's okay to sit there and wait for those fish to come to you on a day like this where the fish are traveling. As long as you're seeing them with some frequency, it's okay to stay there. There we go, boys.
Oh, hooked up over there too. Oh, mine dropped it.
There we go, boys. We got action. They're just coming through in waves. Nick had one grab his dead stick. I had one just absolutely throttle this. I was watching Nick, and then this one came in and just smoked it. It's a better fish, Nick. When he came in, he
Very
wanted
nice fish.
it.
There we go.
Hold on. He's backwards.
Very nice fish.
Like I was saying earlier, there's so many good gear classes in this lake. It's just like there's eaters. There's a lot of fish over 20. Ooh, this is a good one. Look at the water bounce. Look at him.
Ooh, it's a really good one. Get that head turned.
I'm trying. I don't want to pull him back. That's a nice fish.
Get up here, girl.
She is mad.
We got a good hook on her yet.
There she goes.
Oh, come on, girl.
There we go, baby. Woo! Now that is a walleye.
Look at that. On Red Lake, that is a giant. That's a giant anywhere you go.
Dude. That
Nice
is
fish,
a stud
man.
walleye. That's
There
what
you
I was
go.
saying.
Hold that thing up, man.
You know, the last few years we've been getting a lot of big fish out of Red Lake, but that is a toad.
That's,
You know what?
that's one of the biggest I've seen out of here. Absolutely.
This lake has been so healthy over the last few years, you know, with the amount of bait that are in the lake. You know, Red Lake has really become a great multi-species fishery. Look at that giant pike you got today. We got a big walleye. We got a bunch of eater walleyes. The crappies have made a comeback. This is why people come to Red Lake early ice to catch fish like that. Dude, look at that. That is a beast.
Look at that. Look how healthy that fish is.
You know what? And we're hunkered down in the otter. We're having fun. We don't have to worry about the elements out there. That's what makes Red Lake fun. I tell you what, if you're coming up to Red Lake, make sure you're bringing lots of VM spoons with the dress treble.
Absolutely.
Prepare yourself with shelters, even if you plan on hole hopping, drag a shelter up here, because this is one of the lakes where you can set up and you can catch beasts. What a nice fish. Yeah, right in the corner of the
Look at
mouth.
that.
There we go.
Perfect.
We better get her back in. Wow, she took off like a rocket. What a fish. What a day. Giant pike, giant walleyes. We got a whole bunch of fish out here today. That's why I ice fish. That's why I come to Red Lake. I tell you what, if you come out here, you start doing some searching around a little bit, you find a pack of fish, you do what Nick and I did, have the jigging spoons down, coupling it with the dead sticks, and you get up here soon, you're gonna put fish on the ice just like we did. Hopefully today our segment helped you get dialed in.